Okay, so tonight for you guys, I got a H2 instrument cluster. This one's a 2003 H2. He wants blue LEDs installed, so we're gonna go ahead and get this apart. So I just wanted to show this one pretty quickly because it's the same board as the GM truck. So it's got a different cover on it. So this is the expensive part. If you break this, it's like 150 bucks to find a new one of them on eBay. So yeah, it's got a square shape to it. So let's not break this. It's not cheap to replace. Somebody's been in this one before. We got a nice little scratch there on the screen, but that's actually probably hidden by the plastic trim. So, all right, let's get this apart. Seems like stepper motors may have been replaced at some point in time, but oh yeah, they come off nice and easy. Somebody's been in there before. Normally I like to use a rag to get these off, but these white faces here really just don't show that grease from your fingers like the black one does, so not too worried about it with this white face that's on here. Alright, so let's see here. We still have all original C5, so I'm not sure what anybody was doing in here, but someone's definitely been in here. We can see some flux coming through the board there, so must have had a no power issue at some point in time. Yeah, not seeing exactly what was worked on here. Maybe this is a yeah, this is a refurbished. It's got a sticker on there, so there you go. Maybe these are some. Maybe the motors have been replaced and they're just replacement C5s. So now, as you can see, it is the exact same board as the other ones. This is actually a '05 or '06 board that's in here. So that's that. So he wanted all of these lights removed, and I see why now. Yeah, because this is the '05 or '06. Let me go look at his truck real quick and see something. Okay, I'm back. So I went to check real quick to see if this Hummer had the steering wheel controls. It does, and yeah, that's really unfortunate. So he wanted the bulbs removed because he said he did like none of these systems were giving him problems, and I see why. Yeah, he's got the wrong. This is the wrong circuit board in there. This is an '06 circuit board, and it's in an '03. So yeah, it gives us traction control light comes on, the ABS lights on, and the airbag lights on. So he wanted those removed, and I'll remove them for him. I'm willing to do that, but I'll let him know why they were on too. It's got the wrong circuit board, and that somebody swapped a circuit board, and that his mileage is probably not accurate. But let's get these stepper motors off, and then get the bulbs on, and get going with this. So I'm gonna let that heat up. And while it heats up, I always just go ahead and trim off the old bulbs. Okay, so waiting for the tool to heat up still. One of the things I was going to mention is just how I knew immediately that this was not an '03 or '04. So the '03 '04 will have it'll have 260 ohm resistors here and a couple of resistors sitting here. This one has these two voltage regulators set up like this. On the '03 '04, the voltage regulator is facing the other way. So that's how I immediately knew just looking there, and then it also is just printed on there the year of it. So yeah, this is likely, the mileage is probably far off. I don't see where they swapped it, but they still could have programmed it through there. But yeah, there's plenty of flux coming through the board from where somebody's worked on it before. But let's see here. The tool's about heated up, so we'll go ahead and flip it over and take all the old stepper motors off. Okay, now we have all of the stepper motors off, so let's go ahead and reflow all the common solder points. So if you're running into this screen not working, start in this area. As you saw there, that one had a cracked solder joint on it. It just immediately started floating away. Okay, so now let's clean off all of that flux that we just got on there. We're not going to leave it behind like the last guy that was in here. Okay, so now let's get these LEDs put on. I've shown putting the LEDs on before, so I'm just going to stop recording here. I'm going to throw the LEDs on, and then come back to putting on the stepper motors. Okay, as you can see sitting here, I've already removed the bulbs, and I've set the new stepper motors on, and I got the new LEDs on there. So yeah, again, he wanted those bulbs removed because this is the wrong cluster for that truck. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the correct boards for him, or I would just do that, because honestly, that'd be the best thing to do. But this is what he requested anyways. He didn't ask for the correct board. He just wanted the bulbs removed. I will let him know that it's the incorrect board, and if he can locate one at the junkyard, I'm more than happy to swap it all over for him. If so, definitely gonna cover that with him when he gets back here. But let's just go ahead and get this soldered on. Get these stepper motors on here. I just wanted to show that the Hummer board really is the exact same board as his truck. So if you ever run into one of these where it's got like a dead microcontroller on it, well, the microcontroller's actually sitting right there, a dead microcontroller, or just something else that's just not repairable. Maybe it's crushed from being in a car accident or something like that. Well, I don't know why you'd be fixing it in that case, but because the truck's not going to be any good. But whatever. Yeah, if you run into one of these that you just can't fix it for some reason, you can just get a one of the Silverado boards and swap them over. Some of the software may be different, so you might need to get somebody with like a Tech 2 or something to reprogram it. Um, so, yeah. So what happens when you put a 0 05 or newer board in a 03 or 04 is you get a bunch of lights come on for you. So um, yeah, there we go. We got those all soldered on. Let me just double check. Sometimes I miss one. So yep, we got them all. And flip it back over. So as you saw, we soldered back down all of these points. So with these, if the common problems for these ones not powering for the ones with the 05 and newer ones, Normally kind of these guys right here. If it's the older O3 or O4, it's gonna be those resistors sitting there, those resistors that were sitting there that just aren't here on this board, but that's where they'd be on the other one. Um, and yeah, as you see, I took those bulbs off that he requested to be removed. Always what I do to remove them is I don't have hot tweezers, so I just take two soldering irons and just get on either side of it and then just kind of pop right up. And that's how I remove them. So let me just go ahead and put this back together, and I think we'll call this one done. This was a pretty straightforward repair. It was really just supposed to be an LED swap, but when I'm in there, I just put new motors in because I charge the same price either way. So you get a full rebuild on here, and I'll get this back together for the customer. Alright, so I got a nice little bonus for you guys on here. This one's one of these mirrors. It's out of the same truck there. So got an H2 mirror here, and it's got the same old problem going on with it as you've probably seen before, where the screen just quits working. Tends to just be cracks on these resistors here, or some of the other resistors down there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and reflow them all real quick, and you can see where it got nice and toasty right there. Not seeing any signs of cracked solder joints along that. Um, we'll probably just go ahead and reflow those two. They look nice and ugly from all the flux on there, but it looks like it's just flux. So let's go ahead and get to it. So I'm just gonna, this ground's pretty, there we go, it's starting to come off. So there we go. Ground goes to the bottom of it. Alright, let's get to it. Turn this guy on over here. Got the beer and shot. Don't want y'all to know I'm drinking on the job. God. Just trying to look and see if I can actually see any cracked solder joints while I wait on this thing to heat up or power up. There you go. Alright. Got the good leaded stuff going here. Alright, so let's go ahead and test this. I need to go grab my cable though, so let me set this down real quick. And there we go. She is back up and running. It just looks like that because it's not plugged in the back. So let me get this back together and then we'll power it back up. Okay, so the customer showed up as soon as I finished that last recording there, so didn't get a chance to power it back up and show you guys the whole thing working, but it worked right. Customer was happy with it, and he had a good idea that that board had been swapped before inside there. He said, "Yeah, I knew somebody had done some work to it before I bought it, but didn't know what it was." And he said that he just didn't want to get the new new board for it. He'd rather just have those lights pulled off. So that's fine. Um, but yeah, he's got it back up and running, and he's done with it. He's happy. So I just wanted to share that the H2s were the same thing. I wasn't sure if I'd done a video on that yet. I'm kind of getting tired of doing the same video over and over again on the trucks. That's why I've done a little bit less repair videos and some more like kind of off-topic stuff here lately. It all ties back into the boards, but you might see some other stuff coming up on the channel here and there. Just kind of whatever piques my interest might show up on here. I think I'm gonna do a video here soon of just kind of like the starter kit of everything you need to get started working on these, like your soldering stations and basic programmers and stuff that'll at least just get you started on it. So yeah, hopefully you like the video and you can just go ahead and like and subscribe. See you in the next one.